This is it. We're rolling. Episode 492, 492.
I knew it.
No
492.
Laugh Track Podcast. Yep. That is the voice of Chad Daniels. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Why not? And then you're seeing his beautiful face as well. I am Justin Severson, the host, each and every week here at Acme Comedy Company here in Minneapolis. Are we getting a close-up there, Chad? Okay, perfect.
Hit subscribe and smash that like button.
Oh, my God.
That's my Chloe Tang.
I have gone my whole life without saying that S, the L. I'm not saying that.
L. Why don't you L my B? That could have gone several different ways. Nobody even knows what that means.
Chad,
except me. Hey.
Will you S my L button?
So
not on camera.
My daughter a couple summers ago was doing this Chloe Ting workout where it's free on YouTube. It's like a 2-week boot camp or whatever. And the change that happened, I mean, I think she did it for a month and then she cut out sugar, which is the big thing. But the change that happened, then I started watching it. But I could do the exercises. I couldn't get through the first part where this lady was so excited and she would say, just hit that subscribe and smash that like button. And I'm like, I can't do this. It makes me feel like a creep.
Are you still? I just was listening to a recent episode of your podcast. You mentioned going sugar-free. Are you still sugar-free, sir?
I'm sugar-free. I cheated on February 17th. It was my daughter's birthday, and I was out in California, and we made a cake, so I had a little sliver of that. But otherwise, yes, still sugar-free.
How's that going?
It's going a lot better than it was the first week when I have a death toll in my wake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I bet you that there are 2 Delta lounges I cannot go back into. It was pretty wild. I mean, I was doing everything to try to stay ahead of it because I really did need to make that change. I was like getting up, feeling achy, and I know I turned 48 yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And so people are like, "Well, you're supposed to be achy at 48," and I go, "I don't think so. I know 48-year-olds that aren't achy." So I was like, "What am I going to do?" I cut this out, and I was watching this video, and this guy goes, "If you're trying to not eat sugar, you can eat as much fruit as you want. No one's ever gotten fat eating fruit." And so then I hit pause, and I was like, that's a great idea. Went and had some fruit. Then I got back, and I started playing it again, and it said, "It's not like you're going to eat a bag of cuties, right?" And I was like, oh, no. Dude, you got to say that whole thing without a breath, because I just ate a bag of cuties. So now I know that I can... It's interesting. I've learned a ton of stuff about like the fiber in fruit that helps, metabolize the sugar and stuff like that. Where if you're eating a Snickers bar, spoiler alert, no fiber.
There's peanuts.
Well, very little fiber.
Dang it. But they do satisfy.
Oh, God, do they ever?
I have one question about this cutting out sugar. Does that... Like, let's say you want to have a Southern Comfort on the rocks, and that's sort of sweetened. Does that?
Yeah, I never have sweet booze because it just doesn't sit well with my stomach. But I will. I mean, last night I had bourbon, and I know that eventually it turns into sugar. But mind your own fucking business. So my rule is, if you look at it and you go, "Oh, that's sugar," so cake, ice cream, cookies, candy bars, so just sweets, right? I mean, I still eat pizza, but I'm sure there's sugar in the crust. But I don't think of pizza as a sugar food. And then I try to eat better most of the time.
Sure, I got that. So I was here, obviously, I was here last night. You were here last night.
We were both here last night.
We were both here last night. You performed. You were amazing, as always.
That's nice of you to say.
Really fun show. Once again, packed. Every show sold out already, so you're just doing this out of the graciousness of your heart. Which I
like doing the show.
That. But
that's true.
Thank you. I've said it before. The vibe is just come here on a Thursday night and have it packed and have the vibe. Everybody's so into it, and seeing so many other comedians that were here to see you.
Yeah,
which
that was
so great.
really neat. That's always like a nice thing. And you wonder like, well, what jokes are they stealing? But which joke is going to resonate with him so hard they take it? No, I'm obviously kidding. But there were some people in here last night, which I believe a Star Tribune article came out.
Yes.
And so I think some people maybe were here from that, and didn't really know what they were getting into because it was kind of a home state boy makes good article.
For sure.
And so then I think when people show up for something like that, they have no idea what they're getting into because I'm going to say 2.5 minutes in, I've never liked the Catholic Church. I have plenty of friends that are Catholic, but I don't like the church.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be reformed and whatever. And so I go in hard early. And so I think a lot of people are like, this wasn't in the article. There were some things, people listening, if you've read the article, I'd like to state there were a couple things that were inaccurate. Like,
yes, please.
Like my income was inflated.
I mean, you're going to have to prove that. I mean, we're going to take your word or Neil Justin's, who's never made a mistake.
I mean, if you just look at me, you know that I don't have that much money. But, and then my dad's dead for sure.
See, now I read the article and my jaw dropped when I read that part. Like, what? Huh? Who's been misinforming me? Chad's,
Right.
But where's Dad?
Yeah.
Well, the article said Las Vegas, Chad.
Yeah, it's because
Where does that come from?
I believe we were discussing that when he initially left the Minnesota area, he went to Las Vegas, and so there may have been some wires crossed there. But he's dead.
Sure.
So,
well, I'm going to say that there was once an article written about podcasting, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, by the same person in the same periodical? No. Newspaper?
Sure.
Whatever. And there were some inaccuracies in there as well. I was mentioned, and it said that I was the producer of a local morning show that I have not been employed at for quite some time.
Oh, sure.
And that sort of bothered me. Like, no, I don't have anything to do with them anymore, and let's not put that in print.
Yeah, it's interesting. So first of all, the gentleman that wrote this is very nice. Came to my house, super nice dude. And then I think that sometimes when you are talking about things or you don't necessarily check back to the source that you need to check to, some things get messed up. But again, it's nice to have a nice article like that. I mean, it was very kindly written.
Did anyone after the show say anything like, "Hey, I read the article. That's why
Nope.
I'm here"? No one.
No, I'm blaming the article for bringing people out that didn't enjoy parts of my show, and I will stick to that, and I don't care if that's inaccurate.
How long? I've experienced after the shows. I've seen you. You're surrounded by fans. People want to talk to you, get a picture taken, buy some merch, etc.
Sure.
I've seen it. In Florida, 4 years ago, I saw it. It was busy then.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 2023, and you're in your home club, and it's crazy. It's just as crazy, if not more. How late do you stay here? Do you set a time limit of? I mean, we got out of here right away. We're the first ones
Sure.
wanting to get a quick picture with you. Hit the road. We got a babysitter at home. We got.
Yep, absolutely.
And but I can only imagine we turned around and the line was still going into the club. How long do you set a limit? How do you do that? What do you do?
Really. I mean, this is like this is lame, but I always think about if my mom works hard for her money, and I always think like if she went to a show and she wanted to meet the person she went to see, then I think that should be part of it, right? And so I do think that buying a ticket is like part of the thing. Now, some people don't agree with that, and I'm not going to argue this. This is just personal for me.
Sure, right.
But I do like going out there. And you said you're surrounded by fans. First of all, they haven't broken into the green room. I have cut them off at the exit, so they have no choice but to at least look at me.
Well, okay.
So just to be fair.
Okay.
I get out there, I sprint. That's a lot of you see. I move very like a sloth on stage, and then I go behind the curtain and I sprint to the table to make sure nobody leaves without me getting some sort of attention.
That's true. And then you were sort of like the speed bump to get him to stop to talk to Ali as well.
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, dude, people want to talk to him anyways. He is great. This scene, I just went to. I know this is the Acme podcast, but I just went to an open mic at Sisyphus. And I have to tell you, there was not a buster on the show. And these are all people, and forgive me, I just haven't lived here in so long, and when I was home, I was home. This scene is outrageous with really, really funny, diverse people. Yep. It's fucking great. And so, I've worked with Ali a ton, and to have him here for the week was was very. It was nice of the staff here to let me ask for somebody.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I hadn't seen him work here in a while, so it was a great surprise to see him. But I've seen on social media that you've been bringing him on the road with you here and there.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
It's been nice.
I got to overhear the exact moment the couple sitting behind us last night shared that in the middle of Ali's set, he is really good.
Yeah.
It was after he did his, which is obviously a great joke, the Coca Lacanca, that whole joke, yeah, which is fantastic. He sells a little merch that goes along with that. He had just finished that joke. He is really good.
Yeah, I think so. I think there was a time where people that come out on stage that you can give the all the credits in the world, but you still. I think there was a time where people would listen to those credits and go, "This is going to be amazing. He's done this and this and this and this." Now you can give a list of 10 times the credits, and people are still going to be like, "Prove it, bitch."
Yeah.
You know, they really want to, and also you should have to prove it. You shouldn't be able to rest on a Tonight Show credit and come up here and suck.
Yeah.
You know, people paid.
Yeah.
So.
No, I can completely agree. I was going to read you. So, our mutual friend in Tim Harmston.
Nope.
Nope.
Pass.
I'll introduce you someday. Nice guy. Nice guy. Well, you'll meet him. He was at the show last night as well, and we were texting. He and I were texting this morning, and what did he say about you? Chad was on a different level. I don't know if I should be sharing that with you because it was between me and him, but his comment about you was Chad was on a different level. What do you think of that nice compliment, sir?
Well, I think that needs to be fact checked. Back to the source. No, that is very, very nice. Yeah. I mean, obviously that means a lot coming from him because I respect him and think he is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
And he's also the commissioner of my football league.
Oh,
so my fantasy football.
Little power.
League. Yeah. So I do know who Tim is.
Power position.
Yeah, I remember there was this guy. Tim and I worked together. I've probably told this story on here before, but worked together in Chicago at Zanies, and there was this guy Martin who grew up in Mexico and then was here, and he had an accent, but it was the most delightful voice you could ever hear from a sound booth. And he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zanies Comedy Club, Chicago area's #1 comedy club. It is going to be a great show." And then Tim just happened to be hosting that week because it was Tim and Kevin Williams and myself, and we just decided we want to work together. Let's figure this out. And Tim was like, "I'll host, no problem." And then, so then he goes, "Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Fiend Harnstein." And Kevin and I fell down on the ground. We were laughing so hard. And so I haven't called. The reason when you said Tim Harmston, it didn't stick right away, is because I have, from that day on, known him as Fiend Harnstein. And that's what he's in my phone as.
This is like your Obi-Wan? I haven't heard that name in quite some time. You probably mean old Ben Kenobi. Freaking hilarious. Oh, my God, that's so funny. How much time are you spending in Fergus Falls these days? You have a place in Minneapolis now.
Not much, yes. I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we came down here. She's from Washington and moved here. And I moved just a little bit away from where I live. And so here, but then I'll be back up there in the summer because of the lakes and everything like that. So I'll go back up to the Fergus area.
Yeah, okay.
But I've been here since February 1st. So what is that, just a month?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And you're in one of these, I assume it's you're downtown Minneapolis, some sort of area
downtown.
here. We're not going to narrow it down. But
Ish.
what's your address exactly? No, I'm kidding. What if you did say that? It's 145. Is it a building? I just want to. So the last couple of weeks, I've been doing some painting jobs in these buildings downtown Minneapolis, real close to here, so Acme. And it's these places where, secure door, all these signs, don't let anyone in, and I assume you're in a place somewhat like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, can't afford that. Again, the info in the news article.
This had nothing. I don't know.
No, I'm just teasing. No, we don't live in a building with a door like that.
Okay. No, because I was. Then this isn't going to go anywhere. Let's pretend that you do.
We do.
Okay.
We live. Take two. Yeah, we do.
All I was getting to is if I lived in one of those places, I don't want the pressure of policing the doors.
Yeah, that is true, because I will tell you, there is a building that has a gym in it that we have access to. I don't know if they've worked something out. So we can go into that building, and there is a door like that. So now this is coming back to reality.
Hey, here we go.
And the biggest workout I get is trying to suck my gut in, shimmy through I barely open the door. I shimmy through it, and I shut it, and then I just do one of these, just a whole long look at the block. Like, who was about to rush this fucking door?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then once I have secured the perimeter, if you will, I go up to the gym, but I can't do anything. I'm shaking. I'm shaking with fear.
Right. So it's been it was 2 weeks, and the first week I was waiting for my coworker to get in the building, so I was standing by the door to let him in. Somebody else came up, and I just let him in. And as soon as I did, I'm like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
Are they going to report me? Is this a resident who's going to like playing it cool and now going to be like, there's some contractor here letting people in? I never heard anything, but.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because
I was worried.
What I'll do, I've been in those situations before on the road, right? Like even like a hotel, a side door of a hotel.
Sure.
I'll shut it and I'll be like, prove it.
Right.
You got to prove you live here. And then they're all huffy puffy, but you go, you have to understand something. What if it wasn't you? And then your family is murdered by the person I let
Maybe
in.
I just
think
saved
about
your
that shit.
Yeah, maybe I just saved your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We should see last time I saw you is we ran into each other at a Wild game, and it was right when a few days before you were going to record your 2 specials.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was then. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was, So I recorded those 2 specials in Madison, Wisconsin, and I think the Wild lost. Did the Wild lose that game?
December they were not playing well. So
I've only been to one game that they've lost.
Oh.
So I do, but I almost think maybe that was before that one.
I almost maybe think you need to come to more games then.
Yeah.
Let's get a playoff run going.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So recorded 2 specials in Madison. I did 2 shows at the Orpheum Theater, and the early show was 1 hour, and the late show was a completely different hour. So they'll come out as 2 different specials, which is great because I hate watching myself, and I don't have to edit because there's nothing to edit in. I can't go, oh, I like this joke from the second show better. I just had to like whatever happened, which I don't know. I'm kind of into.
People don't do that, Chad.
No. But it's easier for me to not have to worry about what show I should be grabbing a joke from. And then there's going to be sometimes you'll see a special where somebody's talking and then mid-joke there's a different person in the seat. And you're like, well, what happened here? And so that won't happen. So that's also, I do like that idea. But there were some times in my closer, I'm supposed to say I took a flight from Salt Lake City to San Jose. But I said Sacramento to San Jose, and those 2 things are so close, there's no way you'd fly. So then I just made fun of myself.
Oh, you called yourself out.
Yeah.
Good.
For being a horrible travel bitch. Like, I am not driving a half hour. Get me a flight. And so I've just made fun of myself, and I'm leaving that in too.
That's awesome.
It really is going to be, other than the different camera angles, it's the show that people saw. I'm not switching anything because... an or an I don't care enough to try to switch it.
You didn't lose a bet to do this. Like you did this on your own.
I did it on my own because I was like, well, if I'm going to record 1, I have to pay all these people. So I'll just record 2 and not pay as much because they're already going to be there, right? So, and I had the material, and I'll tell you what, some of it is people are going to be like, what's COVID? Because I talk about COVID in one of them, and it's we'll see.
We're not past what's COVID, I don't think. I just had my parents came over to babysit last night.
Okay.
And 2 days prior, my mom sent me a message. Well, your sister was somewhere with her friend. Her friend is positive for COVID. She was over here Monday. Do you still want us to come over? So.
Oh, gotcha.
Still close in my world.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's close enough, and I also think there's nobody that's saying what's COVID, right? But I mean, and it is a look back because I am saying like my favorite part of this was this and whatever. I'm not, just stomping my fist like, put a goddamn mask on.
Chris Rock is doing his live special this weekend on Netflix. Streaming live from a stage. Now, you just described doing your one take, 2 specials in one night. What if both of those were also streamed live?
I wouldn't have a problem streaming a live show because I enjoy that part of it. I just don't. For me, I can't burn those tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do an hour on this stage and let somebody in San Francisco watch it streaming because I'm going to San Francisco at the end of the month. And it's going to be, I would assume, very close to the same hour because I'm trying to, like I said, I just burned 2 hours.
Sure.
So trying to write some new stuff. And, you were here last night. I even said, I was like, well, it's the first time I said that, swing and a miss. Just trying to figure out which direction I can go with some of these things. And what's so great about crowds here is they're so honest with their laughter.
Yeah.
They will give you some room to roam, but once you hit the brick wall, they're like, that's a brick wall.
Yeah. I like when you go, wait, that deserved more. What do we?
I can't remember what one that was, but I remember thinking, like, that's dog shit. You're mad at me for something else.
I agree. I don't remember what it was either, but I was with you.
Because it was clean,
yes.
too. It was clean, and it was, I'm not going to say clever, but it wasn't dumb. And I remember thinking, oh, you're holding resentment in your heart from something in the past.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I also understand that.
On the drive over here, I had on satellite radio, and I had it on the comedy channel, and it was a bit from Jessica Kirson.
Yeah.
Yes, who's very funny.
She's great.
And she's doing a routine, and then at one point, a joke doesn't go over well, and she's like, hold on. Before we release this, I'm putting a laugh track in there, because goddamn, that deserved better. I was like, that is so great.
Yeah, she's something. I've seen some clips of her on Instagram, and I always stop when I'm scrolling. If I see her and I can tell it's a set, I stop scrolling.
So, yeah, my daughter yesterday was like, oh, there's a comedian I really like on TikTok. And she pulled it up, and it was her.
Oh.
And
I'm kidding.
Hilarious. And I was like, and then she showed it to me, and I said, oh, yeah, I'm familiar with her. I've never met her. Oh, I was hoping you'd say you knew her. I was like, dang it. Like, you try to.
Yep.
Those moments where you're cool for a second to your kid, or like,
yeah,
I was
exactly.
this close to another one,
Yep.
and they're rare. So
they are so rare.
So could you introduce me to her, please, so I can, because I could be a little.
Well, I don't know her either.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
someone needs to introduce you then.
Yeah, it's about time.
It's about time. Do you want to, even though you're not really spending a lot of time in Fergus Falls right now?
I do want to.
Do you think we should check out some of the latest crimes in Fergus Falls?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I was listening back, of course, to the last years when we've done this several years now, where I find what's getting people in an uproar in Fergus Falls. Mm-hmm. And one of the things you said last year, I don't remember what the crime was, but they found the perpetrator with their tracks in snow. And you're like, this is where I live, where they find criminals like they track rabbits, just looking for footprints.
Yeah.
That's
pretty good stuff.
It's so funny to me. All right. So we got a few here. You ready?
Yep.
Caller to Fergus Falls Police Dispatch at 3:02 p.m. stated they operated an organization called Loon Rescue, Inc., based out of Wisconsin, and that someone had contacted them through Facebook page and said they were going to attempt to rescue a goose from the Otter Tail River using a kayak and ratchet straps. The call to dispatch was worried these people may injure themselves and would like an officer to check on them. After making contact with the person involved in the attempted rescue, the officer stated that, against their advice, the individual still attempted to rescue a sick goose. However, the goose was able to walk away on its own, and the individual gave up.
Thanks for driving up from Scotty, but
I got this.
Our geese are cold weather geese. They're just resting. They can fucking walk.
I remember being a kid. My grandparents lived, like in southwestern Minnesota, farming country, and I remember we drove past, like one of these ditches on the side of the road, and there were some birds frozen to the water.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I was like, did somebody go rescue them or what the?
How long did you sleep
Yeah.
for that to happen?
I know.
Shit, aren't you just constantly moving your legs when you're in water if you're a bird?
You would think so.
That's very interesting.
Uh-huh.
Let's get back to this bird that couldn't fly that has to migrate. Do you just start walking? Do you just see the V of your pals? And you're like, all right, that's an arrow. And you just start walking. And then you're a fucking goose walking. And then you get to Des Moines and you see it going the other way because it's going to be summer. You're like, God damn it. Turn around, just walk back from Des Moines. That's a lot for a goose.
They can't hitchhike. They don't have thumbs.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
Interesting. They put their wing out. A truck goes by. It's going to rip their wing off. Just start spinning down the road like Tasmanian Devil.
All right. An apartment resident on the 1100 block of Freiburg Avenue.
Oh, shit.
You know where that is?
I do.
Is that a good part of town?
That's a great part of town.
Great part of
Hey,
town.
can I tell you something?
Yes.
Every part of Fergus is a great part of town.
Set you up for that.
Yeah, you
I
did.
really set you up for that. By the way, I learned that. So I live in Hudson, Wisconsin now. Just about the same population.
Oh.
It's right around 15,000.
Yep.
Well, so I guess I live in a small town now, sort of.
Well, I don't know. I think that you can get to Minneapolis quickly.
I know.
I'm not giving you this shit.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not. Trust me.
I haven't had fresh produce in the winter in 17 years.
We got plenty of that. Apartment residents, 1100 block of Freiburg Avenue, contacted Fergus Falls police at 6:54 p.m., reporting that they were hearing yelling and screaming in a nearby apartment and stated that it had been going on for 5 years.
Imagine the level of Minnesota nice where you are just like, honey, check the calendar. He's like, yep, it's 5 years today. Okay, we're called. We gave him 5 years to fix this shit. That's enough.
When an officer visited the apartment, the resident was advised of the noise complaint. The woman stated that she had yelled at the TV over a news report and would try to keep it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's like my football story.
Which also reminded me of one of your jokes.
Yeah. I had, I won't do the whole story,
No.
but I had armed security come to my hotel room when I was watching football because a domestic dispute complaint had been filed, and they thought I was being mean to a gal.
An off-duty officer contacted the Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office, 3:38 p.m.
Did you just say an off-duty officer?
Yes,
Said something about an
off-duty.
office?
An
Okay.
off-duty officer
Okay.
contacted the Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office at approximately 3:38 p.m. about a man who was urinating in the middle of the street in front of a bank in downtown Deer Creek.
Oh, that's up there by Wadena.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
When a deputy responded to the call, they learned that the man had not urinated on this specific day, but bank employees described it as being a frequent issue. There were also other issues with the man loitering in the bank, becoming angry, and causing issues. When the deputy made contact with the man about the complaints, he denied urinating outside the town, outside around the town. He was advised to only go to the bank for essential business only. Sir, do you have an account here?
Let me tell you something. If you're a bank owner, you want me to help you with this problem? Stop making fresh cookies.
Was that it?
Yes. What's your deal? I want to get in without having to have dreams about sweets. Please, let me deposit my check without having to fight through a sea of people that are just in there for the goddamn cookies.
Cookies. I got one more here.
Okay.
Call to Fergus Falls Police Dispatch at approximately 1:54 said they had noticed trash around, and they were thinking that police should be picking it up while driving around on their downtime. The caller was informed by dispatch that they were too busy to be picking up trash. What? Why aren't the police doing this?
That's unbelievable. And also, I would like to know, because I grew up in Fergus, that what race of people they're calling trash. Because...
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Who let this trash in?
Well, listen. Back to swing and a miss. It is interesting that they're just like, well, you're driving around anyways.
Yeah.
Why don't you go? I've never.
What other things do you think they want him to do? Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mow lawns.
Yeah.
I've never understood the idea of walking by garbage and then going, I'm going to call someone to see if they can pick up this garbage. Just fucking pick it up.
Right.
It's the whole I don't work here mentality. Right? There's a lot of that where you see something, somebody will drop they'll be looking for a size on a clothing rack and then one shirt will fall and you're like, hey, you dropped that. And they're like, I don't work here. It's like, but you did it. So pick it up.
I want to commend someone on doing something really nice the other day. You know, we're in the part of the year in Minnesota where it's, last week frickin' Jade Cataprata couldn't make it here because of these storms, right?
The fake storm.
The fake storm is holy fuck! Did I trigger somebody on Facebook with making a comment about that last week?
Well, what a horseshit thing. We're Minnesotans. So I was driving to Fergus Falls. By the way, you want to keep talking Fergus Falls. The Otter girls hockey team made it to the state tournament.
Oh, that's right.
And so I was headed over there to watch the game on Wednesday. And because of this storm, 5 fan buses were canceled. And I will tell you this, Fergus still had more people in the crowd than St. Paul, which is where the XL Energy Center is. You could have walked to support your high school, you dumb bitches. And so I'm driving over there, and it's like 30 miles per hour, but normal weather for Minnesota. And it says that, the signs, you can change the electronic signs that are above the freeway. Yeah. It says winter storm warning in effect. No. And so I think everyone was slowing down, but it's like, it's not here, so we can go as fast as we want. I don't think you should be able to cancel things until the storm hits. I know people need to make plans. You should warn them, hey, have a plan B here, but we're not canceling things until, because there was shit canceled all around my neighborhood. Everything was closed, and it was blue skies, and we did get snow, but we live in Minnesota. I don't get it.
So I posted something after, it was Wednesday afternoon, after we had already clearly made it past day one of this storm that wasn't a storm.
Yeah.
So I wrote on Facebook, I said, hey, just to tie in perfectly with what you just described, I said, hey, sincere congrats to the Minnesota State High School League for not canceling their event. I wish the same thing would have happened at my daughter's school, because now they're going to have to add more days to the end of the year because they've already missed so many days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some dude that I've known since high school that has never commented on anything I've ever posted. Ever. Was the first one to post. Oh, whatever you say, expert.
Whoa. Can I tell you something?
Yes, go.
That's leftover feelings from COVID.
I actually think it may go back to 8th grade.
Oh, shit. Do tell.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't even know, but the fact that this, the rage this dude had on me for that, how the fuck did I trigger you that bad?
You beat him in a spelling bee?
No, I don't, the exact details are foggy, but basically I got held after class for laughing at something that he said in class back in 8th grade. And I still remember that. Maybe he still remembers that. I have no idea, but it's just dude, get over it.
He's just not even gently, but he has a lipstick thing, full fist, forcing it onto his lips.
Yes.
Watching everything you type onto your computer, and he's just laugh at me, expert.
I'm telling you. Ashley's like, well, you're going to block him, right? I'm like, hell no. I'm clearly annoying the shit out of this dude.
Yeah, you got to keep that going.
No, I hope it happens again. At one point I said, I described Facebook. I said, well, this is my page. And he wrote back, I don't think Meta would agree with that.
Wow.
Oh, my God, man.
That's pretty wild. But I love that you're still doing
technically, you're right, but fuck, shut up.
I love what you're doing. Can I tell you something? A picked scab can't heal.
Correct.
So keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is pretty wild.
I ended it with, I just went, all right, take care, man. Good luck.
Good luck.
What the fuck?
Good luck is such a great send-off because it's hey, good luck. And the understood thing behind it is you're definitely going to need it.
Yeah.
You're a nightmare.
Wow. I don't know. Anyway, Wow, I didn't even know I was going to bring that up to you. But I'm going to go back to the nice deed someone did. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick here.
Okay.
I want to end it on something positive here.
Great.
All right. So, not the angry guy that I triggered with a story about whatever. By the way, side note: my daughter's school now has 5 minutes added to the beginning and 5 minutes added to the end of every school day because they've missed so many days, and they've added days in June. So.
Oh, fuck days in June.
Final thing, my whole thing posting that on Facebook, as I was like, this is in hindsight. I didn't post it Tuesday when they were canceling shit. I'm standing here Wednesday afternoon. I could get anywhere right now. I could have got anywhere all day. Anyway, now I'm going to move on for that. The positive, go ahead.
It's like the weather guy in Curb Your Enthusiasm when Larry David gets super pissed off because he's like, you said it was going to rain because you wanted to come out here and have the golf course to yourself.
Yeah.
I really think that weather people sometimes are like, listen, we don't want our kids to make up this homework. We're going to Mexico. Snowmageddon.
There might be something to that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that. So last week, Wild game. I was going to work the Wild game on Friday.
Okay.
We're clear from the snow. Everything's nice. It's now in the 30-some degrees, and the snow's melting.
Yeah.
I'm across the street from the XL Center walking to work, and there's cars coming, and the closest one about a half a block away. This, what I assume is a homeless gentleman because he's there a lot, asking for money. Sometimes he's playing like the flipped over pickle bucket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Car's coming, and he goes, you guys might want to step back. Because every car that was going by was going through a huge pothole and splashing everyone. He could have stood there for hours and watched everybody one after another get their freaking clothes ruined. I'm in my work pants. It would have sucked.
That's a good
but
dude.
He has nothing to gain.
That's a
except
good
just
dude.
Hey, you might want to move back. And sure enough, 10 seconds later, a bus came by. Boom!
Oh,
it
wow.
Splashed 10 feet. For real. I'm not exaggerating.
That's great.
Yes.
That's very cool that he did that.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you about a nightmare of a man at the XL Energy Center. I brought Kelsey to her first NHL game, and we went in, and before we go in, two red-shirted security guards approach her and say, you're not going to be able to bring that purse in. She goes, so take everything out of the purse, put it in your pockets, fold up your purse, put that in your pocket. But it kept setting off the metal detector. Yeah. So then she had to take it out and put it through the little thing. And then the guy saw it and he goes, you can't have that purse in here. And we were like, it's empty. There's nothing in it. Look. And he's like, you can't have a purse in here. It's like, but there's nothing in it. And so I go, you know what? Fine. We're going to grab the stuff. So I tell Kelsey, I go, put everything in your purse. Let's bring it back to the car, which is like a, 10-minute walk. Not a problem. We'll just get in there when we get in there. The guy behind Kelsey, who, by the way, super, super nice. He kept I went through first and made it through. So Kelsey's dealing with all this stuff. She's like taking her jacket off, putting that on the tray. And he goes, you can't put the jacket on the tray. It has to come through the metal detector. So I'm just like, hey, man, can you calm down? I know there's a line. And I look at the guy and I go, sorry about that. Kind of like mouth it. And he goes, kind of don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But he had also put his stuff down the slidey ramp to go through. And so it is collected with every single thing that was in her purse. So I start helping her pile things into the purse, and I have a handful of stuff. And he goes, hey, man, that's my phone. And I go, oh, shit. Give him his phone. And then I go, I didn't recognize this credit card. So I go, is this also your credit card? And he goes, yeah. And I go, I am so sorry about that. So I start walking out, and he goes, you have my keys and my wallet. By the way, I'm the nightmare in this story. Spoiler alert, I'm the nightmare I was talking about. So I look down in my hands, it's full of shit, and I have keys that I don't recognize. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I am so sorry. Here are your keys. And he goes, you have my wallet. And I go, I don't think I do. And I pat everything, and I go, I definitely don't have your wallet. Sorry about that, but I am sorry that I took the rest of your shit. That's wild. So I go out. Kelsey's sitting there, and she's like, oh, my God, I'm ruining the first NHL game. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's not my first NHL game. They're not, like, because we're not in there, it's not going to change the outcome of the game. And we'll just go down there when we're ready. And then she's, like, doing something in her purse, and I go, oh, fuck, his wallet. So I grab the wallet out of her purse and I run back through, which, by the way, I have already come through this line the wrong way, like salmon going to spawn. And so now I am like, hey, it's me, guys. I'm back. Got to give a wallet back. So
The guy who was so sure.
yeah, yep. And I get to and I go, where's the dude with the wallet? And the guy that's security there running the metal detector turns around and he goes, I don't know. He goes, give it to me. I'll bring it to Lost and Found. I go, I don't know. But I gave it to him, and then I looked around the game. Do you remember M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, where he would sit in the football game and just hold his hands out and touch people as they walked by to figure out because he could tell what they were going to do if they were going to do bad things? That's what I felt like. I was just sitting in the middle watching people walk by me to see if I could find the guy whose wallet I took. Because who fucking knows if that guy ever... Why would you go to Lost and Found at the XL to get a wallet when that wasn't what happened?
Yeah.
And so I wanted them to make an announcement to be like, if your wallet was taken while you were in line for the metal detector, come back. We have your ID, so we'll know it's you, like any message like that. But instead they're going like, hey, follow the White Claw can and figure out where the ball is. They don't have time to help with a wallet.
Not unless it has a paid sponsor, Chad.
Yeah. And so I still feel horrible. I did not enjoy the game. This was a game where Hartman scored twice. His first goal was the 100th goal of his career, or with the Wild, maybe. Maybe it was, I think with the Wild, maybe career. Doesn't matter.
With him, career.
Yeah. So he snipes one upper left, and then I didn't even get to enjoy that because I was still worried about this guy's wallet. And then he scored one of the best goals I've seen in a while where he toe dragged it back, dropped his shoulder, goalie hit his knees, put it over his head. It was a pretty good one. And then I was like, okay, fine. The guy doesn't have his wallet. It's a pretty good goal. All of a sudden I'm excited. But I waited outside the same gate.
Oh, man.
And I was kind of waiting for him, and I never saw the guy again. But
You should just taped it to the door.
I
Hopefully
really
you saw
hope.
it.
This is an absolute offer. If you have heard this story from a coworker, if you are listening to this podcast, they lost their wallet, please contact me. I will do anything I can to make it right.
Look at that.
That's true. Within my financial means, please don't read the article.
I got proof that you can afford this, so it's in print there, pal. Nice try. I used to, when I worked at the radio station, came in one morning on a Saturday morning to do my shift. Guy that does the overnight. Hey, nice to see you. Take care. He leaves. End of my shift. I'm like, where the fuck are my keys? Where are my keys? I drove here. Where? I looked for a long time throughout that building, bathrooms, at every table, this, that. The overnight guy that had left when I got there grabbed my keys and went home.
Accidentally snagged him. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Then you have to call to get a ride home, even you have a functioning car that you can't get into. Yeah, someone got my keys. I can't make it home.
Oh, wow.
So final thing here is you got, there's more shows here. They're all sold out. What is the rest of the year bringing for you, Chad?
I'm doing some shows. Obviously, I have some shows. I'm going to Mesquite, Nevada to golf with high school buddies. And then I'm going
Skeet.
I'm going to Costa Rica. And then I am just, like I said, working after that. But once May 15th hits, Olivia will be done with school. So I will go get her, bring her back. And then I will be up north for the summer. Not doing a ton of stuff this summer. Have a couple things in the works, which I think would be pretty fun, but otherwise I take summers off because it's the best time to be here.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think that's it. I got a really funny thing that I'm going to mention to you afterwards because we ran out of time, but that's fine.
I will see you, I'm sure before, but I will see you here at this podcast with these tables and these microphones in 1 year, the first weekend of March.
Right after your birthday.
That's right.
Thank you.